Okay, alright. The scene finally looks cool. Hey, we managed to get lost. Well, wait, what am I talking about? We lost the sun. Yeah, sun's going down, so yeah. Anyways, welcome back to the channel, and today is going to be another street photography related video. Why am I talking with a weird accent? Wait a minute. Turns out that I haven't saved the notes that I wrote for myself. Anyways, let's get into it. So, would like to recommend you a great video where Sean Tucker explains his technique that he uses for street photography, which is a great technique if you like that sort of workflow. I don't really like that, but in that video, he talks about two techniques. I'm going to go in a little bit more in depth than he did. So I'm not going to just talk about my style, but the other one too. He called these two the hunter and the fisherman. Anyways, I'm going to leave a little link in the description or somewhere to his video, because I think it's a really good video. You can learn a lot from that guy. The points I'm trying to make, these are the main two categories or techniques or ways you can go about street photography. You can like combine the two, or maybe there are subcategories or something like that, but I would consider these two as the main two ways of doing streets. The thing is, the walking around, it's my main technique. That's what I use, that's what I like, that's what I love actually, and it's got a few ups and downs, so positives and negatives, as every technique really. And let's start with positives. I consider it a positive that you're constantly moving, so you're pretty fast, you're sort of invisible. Actually, if you're using a few other techniques like, you know, shooting from the hip, I'll just demonstrate it for you real quick. Like this, you place the camera and you shoot on the side, maybe whatever you like. Shooting from the hip really just works with this, like walking around stuff. You're fast, you're moving fast, and people don't really have time to notice you. So if you want to do candids, this is kind of a help. If somebody notices you, you know, anyways, you're 1 second you're there and the other you're not there, so you're just moving away. And they, you know, people don't really want to stop others walking on a street that, hey, what did you do? Because, you know, it's not their business anyways. And if you're using wide angle, which I suggest you use with this technique, it doesn't really work with a huge telephoto 400mm, something you can't shoot from the hip with that. And the negative side, really, the positives are negatives too, because if you're moving fast, you might miss stuff. If you mess something up, you don't really have another shot at it. So because you're moving fast, and well, most of the times your subjects are moving towards you, if you don't shoot someone like how you planned it and it turns out really bad, like you can't go back and just repeat that shot. It just doesn't work and it ruins the magic. From then on, it's obvious to your subject that you're photographing them and not something else in the background maybe. And it's hard. Like, I'm not going to lie, it takes practice. Shooting from the hip, from the front, from the side, from anywhere, takes practice. 75% of the times when I'm out in the streets, I don't even look at my camera. I just take a shot, and I mess up. I mess up sometimes. I mess up actually a lot. So shooting like this is pretty hard, and I'm not going to say it's easy and you're going to get it fast, because that wouldn't really be true. Maybe practice in your room, or just forget it. Go out and shoot because it's fun, whatever. And the other technique, I am going to go ahead and call camping. You can call it fishing, actually, you can call these whatever you want. But camping is when you see a cool location, okay? You see this cool glass building, nice reflections, and it's interesting, well, in itself. And with this technique, your subject might not actually be the person you're photographing. It's rather the location, the building, and the whole image, like the everything that's in the image. So the real positives of this technique, if you stay there, you know, you see something that looks nice, if you stay there and try to get together a decent composition, you can come up with some pretty good compositions. It takes time, but you know, you can find a perfect composition. And if somebody walks into your shot, that's the point of this whole thing, if you want any people in your shots anyways. So if an interesting person walks into your shot that you set up previously, then you just click the shutter and you have a very good chance to have a killer image, because you know, everything just clicks together. Good composition, interesting subject, image. Good image, actually good image. So that's the real positive. And you can put much more emphasis on the background than the person. If somebody sees you, like, they're much less likely to approach you to say delete that photo, because you've been setting up that photo for like 10 minutes or 50 minutes and they walked into it. If something, they're going to feel bad for walking into the shot. Maybe they're going to like hurry to get out of the shot. So I would say with this technique, you are not going to get any confrontations at all, or very minimal amounts of arguments with other people. What you have to watch out if you're shooting your picture in something that is private property, the security is going to come out and say, hey, you shouldn't really be shooting here because you don't have a permit. That's something you got to deal with. The negative side is really the time and the patience. So it takes a lot of patience and a lot of time to set these things up. You know, finding the perfect composition. If you're a perfectionist, even, like, you want to set every little thing in your shots, that takes a lot of time. Like, you can spend 10, 15, 30, 45 minutes easy photographing just one thing on the street. Whereas if you were just walking around and kind of stealing shots, you had like, I don't know, 1,000 shots to choose from. When you set up camp and you just wait for people, you might end up with one picture or two, or no pictures at all. Because the other big negative why I don't like this technique that much is if something is just not clicking with the whole composition, my whole idea I have in my head, I just don't take the shots. Once I've tried this with an abandoned gas station, and I thought that's a pretty busy, like, working industrial area, and I waited for 40 minutes for anybody to walk in my shots, and no one did. Like, it wasn't like no interesting people, nobody, absolutely nobody. And the gas station in itself is not that interesting, so I didn't take the shot, and I got home completely like empty-handed. And that's the point. Why I don't like to use this camping technique is because if I don't get something, I'm like instantly demotivated, and I just come home and, I don't know, eat chocolate all day long. So yeah, but these are the two main ways you can approach street photography, and I highly encourage you to try out both. Whichever feels closer to you, just choose that and use that technique. And I hope this video helped you. Like, next time you're going out to the street, you're going to feel more confident. I hope that. So if you like what I'm doing here, well, you can press the subscribe button, and there's a bell thing if you want to watch more for some odd reason. And if you like this video specifically, there's a like button. I guess there's a dislike too, but I don't like dislikes. And if you have anything else to add to this video because you think like I missed something or you have a better idea, just share down in your comments, because most likely photographers are going to watch these videos, and well, let's help each other out. So let's help your fellow photographers. So yeah, that's it for today, and see ya.